My boss dropped a plastic clicker on my desk. Julian is the face, he said. You sit in the dark and advance the slides when he snaps. I spent 3 years building the multi-million-dollar platform Julian was about to pitch. I stared at the clicker. The board meeting started in exactly 4 minutes. Richard had been my department head since I started. He always called me his secret weapon. For 3 years, I worked 60-hour weeks building a predictive logistics platform that saved our company millions. Richard took that data, put his name on it, and wrote it straight to a senior vice president chair. He promised me the director role as my reward. On Monday, the company-wide email went out. The new director of logistics was Julian. Julian was 24. He was the son of Richard's country club partner. He had been here 6 weeks and spent most of his time asking me how to format Excel columns. On Tuesday, Julian called me into my own conference room for a one-on-one. He sat at the head of the table, steepling his fingers. He told me I had great raw technical skills, but I lacked executive vision. He said he was excited to mentor me so I could learn how to be a team player. He had been out of college for 2 years. I walked straight into Richard's office. I asked him why my promotion was given to a guy who did not even know our basic software. Richard let out this exhausted sigh, like I was a toddler throwing a tantrum. He leaned back and looked at me with pure disappointment. You are completely missing the big picture, he said. Julian has the executive polish. He looks the part. You are the mechanic. You belong under the hood where the real dirt is. Why are you making this about your own ego? He was completely serious. He actually believed I should be honored to do all the labor while Julian collected the executive salary. I protected your job for 3 years, Richard continued, shaking his head. I gave you the privilege of building this platform, and instead of thanking me, you are whining about a title. It is incredibly selfish. He told me to get back to work because the board of directors was flying in on Friday. They wanted a live, hour-long demonstration of the new platform. For the next 3 days, Julian panicked. He kept scheduling meetings with me, begging me to write him a script. I told him I was too busy doing mechanic things. Friday morning arrived. The board members were settling into the main conference room. Richard pulled me into the hallway. He looked nervous. He reached into his pocket and handed me the plastic presentation clicker. He told me Julian was going to stand at the podium, but I needed to sit in the AV closet at the back of the room. I was supposed to run the live software interface, pull the data queries in real time, and advance the slides whenever Julian snapped his fingers. He was asking me to be the invisible puppet master for the guy who stole my job. I looked at Richard. I looked at the clicker. I kept my breathing perfectly steady. I just smiled and said, okay. Richard patted my shoulder, told me to be a good team player, and walked into the boardroom. Julian was standing by the door, sweating through his expensive suit. He gave me a thumbs up. I walked over to the nearest empty desk. I set the plastic clicker down next to a keyboard. I took my employee badge off and laid it right beside it. I turned around and walked out of the building. The board meeting started in exactly 4 minutes.